So welcome back to our WordPress penetration testing and security course. My name is Chandan Godela and today we'll going to install that WordPress in local server and the web server through the cPanel. So let's start with that cPanel server. So I've already bought a domain and that hosting, and you will get a proper cPanel like this. And in cPanel there are that multiple options to install that WordPress. But like in cPanel, there's in specific points where you can directly install that WordPress by using that WordPress manager. So here you can see that my website, that pentesthint.com, and you can see it's already then set up. Otherwise, just click on that install, and by adding some points which we they discuss in when we install in that our local server for practice method for practice mode. So uh, you have to enter that the database name or the table name and that username and then password, so you can log in into that WordPress site. So this is that in cPanel there's a easiest way. You can just click on that wizard and just next and just put the information as the requirement via this wizard, and you can directly install that WordPress. But that most important to install the WordPress that manually. So let's say you don't have these that WordPress management, and you have only to see that only that file managers. That's mean you can that upload the files, and after the upload files like you have to that set up WordPress in that another folder. Let's say that your website it's like built in that SPX website or that in core PHP, and you want to install that WordPress that for the blogs only, so in slash blog. So we have to create that in public HTML folder, that blog folder, and after this that blog folder, and you have to just set up that WordPress that manually. So for that manually WordPress setup, let me download that WordPress download, and that's official website of that wordpress.org. There are that options to download and install it yourself. So I'm just clicking on the download WordPress 6.5.3. It's the latest version. Let me save. And for local server we have to download that XAMPP, or you can, like if you are using that Linux or Mac operating system, so you can use that LAMP or that XAMPP as well in Mac operating system, or you can that download that Apache and the databases also. But in XAMPP we can configure like simultaneously that databases and that Apache server as well. So let me download that XAMPP. So just click on download XAMPP, and there are multiple options that XAMPP of that Windows at 030, so it's the latest version. So as per your requirement you can download. Let's say if you want to do practice on that deprecated version of the WordPress, so you can download that previous version also. So just click on that more downloads, and you'll see the deprecated version of that WordPress. So I'm using right now that latest version to showing you that how can we set up. So download that 64-bit, and that XAMPP download success. So downloading has been completed, so just click on that XAMPP installation file, and just yes, and it's a simple process to install that XAMPP. Important because that user USC. Okay, then next. The important file that is selector folder. So you have to remember that in C drive there is a folder that XAMPP. So you have to remember this folder name. The next English, next, and preparing to install. So let's finish, and we can see that control panel now. And in control panel, there are multiple options to start that Apache services, MySQL, FileZilla, Mercury, and Tomcat. So we have to start that Apache and MySQL. So when you start these services, so you can see that process ID and the port number. That's mean your loopback IP and your port number, you can run that Apache, and MySQL is running on that 3306. That's mean that your PHP MyAdmin as well. So let me open that 127.0.0.1 and enter. So you can see that in dashboard. So basically when we go into this folder, that C drive, that XAMPP and htdocs, so you can see that multiple folders. And for that WordPress, like whatever you that download, just paste that zip file, and let me extract this WordPress folder. So once you extract that folder, you can see that new folder, that WordPress 6.5.3. So we have to rename this folder name. Let's say that new site, or that practice, or that pen testing, anyone. So we can that access that particular uh, website through this Apache, and with the help of that PHP databases. So there's a folder of WordPress and OnePress. So let me cut and let's back into that past and just rename. It's that Pentest hint. Now let me open that browser, and in dashboard just rename and then Pentest hint. So whatever you are using that folder, just go to that folder. So now we gonna that install that WordPress that manually. So here are that option, that first of all that language, so I choose that English United States. And here we have to enter the database name, database username, database password, host, and table prefix. So let's go, and in database name I'll just add let's say that pentest hint underscore db, and username, it's by default that root password that it's not set it in that in php my admin. And that database host is local, table prefix is wp. Okay, then submit. Then cannot selected the database, so let create the database. So in phpMyAdmin, that loopback IP and phpMyAdmin, there is an option, so new, and then uh, pentest hint underscore db, and then create. Now let's try again. So it's already sparky when you made it, so run the installation. And when we just click on that run of installation, so it's some information needed. Let's say site title. So in site title we can choose let's say for pen testing purpose, pen testing username, let's say admin, and password it's auto generated. But like I'm using that only that local host, so I can use that password, it's also that admin, so it's a weak password, so confirm use as weak password. And for that email, you can choose that email part, that search engine visibility, and then install WordPress. Must provide in that email address, so let's say let me anything. So WordPress that install that username admin, password admin, and just click on that login. And for login, we can see that multiple dashboards. Otherwise, we can see that website it's look like this one, because it's that by default plugin and by default theme we can see here. And to login, just go to that wp-admin, and let's say that username admin and password admin. And we can see that databases here, and in databases, and we can see the dashboard here. And in dashboard there are multiple options. We can see that latest version, or like which version we are using that right now, or we can just click on that update. So current version is 6.5.3, which last checked this time. And the site is automatically kept up to date of that each new version of that WordPress, and reinstall. And if you are using the deprecated version, so you can see here that that version details. There are multiple options of post, media, pages, comments, that appearance, plugins, user tools, or settings part. But I'm like we are not going to like deep dive into these options, because it's related to total that development phase, like how can we create that interactive websites. There are multiple plugins to create multiple options on that website. We can upload that media, we can upload that multiple pages, the comments, and the themes, and all. But the security reasons, we have to know about like how can we that added the theme. So in app, so then appearance, we can see that editor part, but in tools there's an option that theme file editor. So as a security tester or pen tester, you should know about like where we can that edit that particular file. So theme file editor, I understand. Now we can choose that that multiple themes and that file also. We'll discuss in penetration testing part that how can we that can take that reverse shell through this by this editing these particular that themes and that multiple files. So in this video we discussed about how can we install that WordPress, how can we set up or how can we add it into that theme files.